I'm currently a senior here at North Carolina Central University, majoring in business administration with a double concentration in management and finance. I'm currently a 2014-2015 Mrs. School of Business.
And I'm Kiana Crochet, a junior here at North Carolina Central University, majoring in business administration and concentrating in management. And I'm the 2014-2015 Miss School of Business. Today we have an exciting opportunity for our NCCU School of Business. We welcome Intern Dean Dr. Lester to the School of Business first virtual town hall meeting. Welcome, Dr. Lester.
Thank you very much, Kiana. I really appreciate this invitation to speak to the students of the School of Business. You all are really bringing me fast along into the 21st century with a virtual conference, but I do appreciate the opportunity.
So at this time, we'd like to invite all students to submit any responses in the chat via to the screen to your right. And Kiana, I will read your question to the dean, and she will submit your response.
I want to start off by just talking about what's going on in the school. Yes. We can do that. We can do that.
Okay.
I know one of the things that you had indicated to me that you want to know something about.
To start off, Dean Lester, could you speak a little bit about the current direction of the School of Business and as it relates to the market trends in the industry?
So yes, I can talk about that briefly. We are constantly involved in trying to make sure that we're preparing our students for existing jobs, but not just existing jobs. They're prepared for jobs in the future. So, for example, you'll see one of the things that was initiated this fall was our new computer science and business degree program that is a joint program with the College of Arts and Sciences Computer Science Department. We think that this is a very important model to demonstrate not only the importance of technology, but the interdisciplinary importance of technology as students prepare to not only learn how to handle the equipment and programming and so forth, but what does that mean to the business entities that they will be serving when they go out and do that work? We've had professional advisory councils, corporate advisors, leaders who said to us that this is what we need students to know. Not just the absolute detail, you have to know that, but what is the critical thinking behind what you're doing? We're constantly looking at that for our students. Also, you may notice that we have department chairs. And so across the school, we have kind of restructured a little bit so that you're now clearly in the Department of Business Administration and clearly in the Department of Accounting. And those individuals who lead those areas are your department chairs. So I think that just a little more structure also will help as we try to prepare our students for the future. And one more thing, and I'll let you go on. But over the course of later this semester, but more importantly, in the fall, you're going to see a much more intentional rollout of our entrepreneurship program, both at the graduate and undergraduate levels.
So we have our first question from a student. Are there any updates as to the department's ability to be able to offer afternoon/evening classes?
That is an important question. And it is one that we are looking at how we can do a better job of that. Clearly, resources are critical. So how do you have adequate faculty to service the classes that run during the day and still handle the classes that are necessary at night? The way that you best do that is if you have a cohort of students. If I knew specifically what the needs were going to be from semester to semester for evening courses, we're going to be looking at that but I have heard the message from our students that they need alternative hours for classes.
So students have expressed the desire to go back to a time when the school of business required professional dress on certain days. And knowing that we have spoken about that, and it's in the form of bridging and actually being implemented, how do we go about that?
Well, thank you, Curtis and Keon, that you all made that part of your platform for this year, that students needed to look at professional attire at least one day a week so that they could prepare for that eventual job opportunity, interview, etc. that they would be facing. So given what you've asked us to do, we took it back to the faculty. We all agreed that we would have one day a week, and we've identified that as being Thursdays for Professional Dress Day. We're also re-implementing the School of Business Distinguished Speaker Series, and the first event will come up next Thursday. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the school business students dressed professionally. We have invited a great guest to come back and speak to you. But what I need from you, Curtis, what I need from you, Keon, I need you all to put on a special event that really talks with the students about dress. Because professional dress is more than just a suit and tie. It's important that you have a suit and tie, but it's more than that. So we're going to continue to talk about this over the course of the semester, but I look forward to that event that you're planning.
Dr. Lester, you mentioned something about a distinguished speaker series.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit more about those speaker series?
So what we're looking at doing is we'll have a distinguished speaker series. We're holding it in the BBRI building at 11:30. The speaker will present. And this time, next week, we've invited Dr. H. James Williams. Dr. Williams used to be the dean of the School of Business, but he is currently the president of Fisk University. Dr. Williams also used to be a North Carolina Central University student. He's from North Carolina. He knows this area well. In addition to having his PhD, he's a CPA. He's a CMA, Certified Management Accountant. He's a JD, and he has practiced law. So he is a very well-respected gentleman. I had the pleasure of knowing him when he taught at Florida A&M University, and his success is well recognized across the country. He is going to be speaking next week about competitiveness. So again, going back to your professional attire, what makes you more competitive? Okay. And one of the things that is so important that you have the knowledge, that you have the skills, you cannot ever dismiss that. You are going to have that. But before they hear you speak, before you can tell them what you know, they're going to see you, and they're going to make individuals going to make some judgments about it. So that's why we're incorporating that aspect of it.
Well, that's great. I know I and Kiana look forward to attending next week's presentation. How often will we have the speaker series?
Plan is to have that once a month for 3 months in each of the semesters. So in the spring semester this year, we'll have this one in January, we'll have one in February, and we'll have one in March. We're not doing it in April because we know a lot of you will be preparing for, final exams and teamwork presentations, and a couple of you might even be preparing for graduation. So we're going to leave that one off, but 3 times each semester we'll do this. And one of the things that I might want to hear from you all as students is give me some individuals that would be important for you to see, on campus. We have our ideas, but this is a university, and we can't operate it without everyone.
So we have another question from a student. Can you talk more about internships and opportunities after graduation?
So important. I believe that internships are critical, and I'm encouraging us to work closely with our corporate partners to create paid internship experiences for our students. What we know is that many of the major companies now actually hire permanent employees from their intern pool. So we're going to have to create more of those kinds of opportunities for our students. And then we're going to have to make sure that we have more opportunities for permanent placement when you graduate. I am a firm believer that this is what we're all about. I can just speak for myself. It was important to me as an undergraduate that I graduated and had a job to go to.
That's all of this.
It was important. It was important to me. It was important to my family. We're going to be working to try to prepare you all for that experience. We're doing some things inside the School of Business, physically, to try to make that happen more. And you be sure you let me know what your needs are. Okay. But we're gonna work with those providers, employers, so that our students have the opportunity. Let me just add one more thing to that. In addition to the jobs and internships, I want our students to focus on getting more exposure while they're here. So the opportunities that they have to participate in professional student organizations gives you a chance to be a leader while you're here. Gives you a chance to practice your craft. So let's find ways to create some internal internships so you're really ready when it's time to present yourself for that future employee.
I have another question.
So the next question will be, how can School of Business students help get involved with the revitalization of Black Wall Street in Durham?
The revitalization of Black Wall Street in Durham is very special to me, and that's why it's so important to me that we really have a strong entrepreneurship program. That was really what made Black Wall Street. And I was just in a meeting just this morning with the Durham Workforce Development Board. And I want to see our students involved even in those kinds of organizations so that they can bring their ideas to the table. You know some of what your needs are. We have the fortunate experience of being in Durham. It was one of only 2 cities that were that well recognized as a Black Wall Street. One was in Oklahoma, the other was here in Durham. Our students must know that, and they must know their heritage, and they must know why they have the capacity to be the kind of leaders that we need for the 21st century. Going forward, 2025 is closing in on us rapidly. You all are going to be the young men and women who are going to be taking us where we need to go. I mean, you're going to be in Congress, you're going to be in leadership, you're going to be in state government, you're going to be in corporations. So we've got to learn that right here on the streets of Durham, North Carolina.
So we have another question for Dr. Lester. What is Dr. Lester's accessibility beyond 5 o'clock p.m. to just meet with non-traditional students?
You know, I'm here too much. Generally, I'm here until about, well, I don't want to say this because the time you come, I won't be here. But oftentimes, I'm here until at least 7, 8 o'clock at night. If you schedule an appointment after hours, I will definitely be here. But I am not opposed at all to being here in the evening. One of the things you might not know about me is that I'm from Greensboro, and that's where my home is, my residence. But as a result of my taking this position as interim dean of School of Business, I have an apartment here in Durham. It's nobody but me. It's nobody for me to go home to. So if you need to see me in the evening, I will see you. But to make sure that I'm here, please schedule an appointment.
Some more student feedback reflects the need to have additional spaces to meet as groups or to study outside of class. Are there any plans to address this concern?
Absolutely. I'm working right now to reconfigure the old computer lab that was down on the ground floor, and I hope to have that done by It may not happen before spring break, but I hope that it'll be done when you come back from spring break. We're reconfiguring that into what I'm calling right now a business learning center. So we're going to have some space for you to work collaboratively with teams. We're going to have some opportunities for you to have tutorial instruction. We're also looking at having 4 or 5 computers in there, so that if there's some work that you have to do on a computer, sometimes our computer labs are closed after hours and you might need immediate access to something, or you may need to work with somebody on a computer project. We're going to have that. But I want our students to have a place to go, and right now we don't have that.
We have another question from a student. Is there a plan to increase the support to MBA students, jobs, mentorship, and etc.?
Yes, there is. I've been working with Dr. Nasir, who's the current interim director of the MBA program. We're looking at how we can improve some of the support areas to the MBA program. But also, when you speak about space, we have got to identify a space specifically for MBA students so that they can go have some private office space. You know, our MBA program is run in the evening. Some of our students come directly from work, and maybe their class doesn't start until 7:30. Well, they ought to have a place that they can go and have it equipped like they want it so that they can make use of that. As far as internships for MBA students, we can look at that. I think some of those experiences would have to be shorter than they are for our undergraduate students. So maybe there can be some 1 to 2 week intense sessions with corporations or in the field that you are particularly interested in as an MBA student. But our goal as an MBA is to get you into the program, make sure you are learning the material, and that there are career opportunities for you to do.
So we have a comment from a student. If you have any student organization that can help me to get experience, please let me know.
Well, we have a lot of great student organizations and we're looking at establishing even more. One of the things that I'm very strong on is that I want you involved in professional organizations that carry on beyond your college years. So, for example, I'm working very hard with some of our faculty to establish American Marketing Association. You will find folks in marketing who are doing that for a lifetime. We already have SHRM on campus. It's not housed in the School of Business. SHRM is a professional organization for human resources. Those of you in management, that may be an area that you have an interest in. Ms. Brain works with our SHRM organization across the campus. We also have NABA. For those of you who are in accounting or finance or information systems, you might want to explore NABA. Great organization. It's been around for years that we want you to participate in. We have in the CIS, they have a CIS Club that would be excellent for you to participate in. We also have an unusual situation here on campus in that we have a Toastmasters Club. And for those of you who want to increase your capabilities in the area of speaking, we have a Toastmasters Club that meets twice a month here on the second floor in the conference room. The unique feature of this Toastmasters Club is that you will actually be meeting with professionals from the field. They come every twice a month. I don't have the dates right at the tip of my tongue, but you can find that out from either Ms. Brain or from Dr. Grant. But these are professionals coming directly from work. And one of the main features when we implemented this club, not only did the director of the program come from Charlotte to raise the flag on this program, Toastmasters, Chancellor Sandra Swipe came over to also recognize her, how important it was to her that we do this. So Toastmasters is the kind of thing you can participate in periodically in your career as you need it, as you progress, because you're going to be speaking at different levels as you go through. And how do I get prepared for that?
Well, I know that as the students, we'll be proud of all this. Dr. we really appreciate you taking the time out to speak to us as the students about everything. Would you have any parting words for the students? Anything else?
The critical thing I want students to understand, all of us, is that we are about student success. I need our students to be concerned about their academic performance, work toward their academic performance to be successful. That's how we can have more internship placements. That's how we can have more job placements. If there are things that they need from the school in order to enhance their success, we need to know that. Also want you, I didn't mention, but Dr. Sharon White has joined our faculty. Dr. White has a long background in academia and working with students that has their success. She's the new associate dean for the school, and I have spoken often to the faculty about this. That's our passion. You all are our future, and we're concerned about it.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here. There's one more question coming up.
So another question would be, are there any plans to increase the MBA concentrations?
There may be. That's not a real definite answer, but let me just say this. What causes programs to increase is demand. If we have the demand, we can look at what direction we need to move in for the MBA program. Two areas that I'm concerned about for our school, and they may impact the MBA program and the undergraduate program, is the area of human resources. I think that is an important field that we probably need to be more intentional about how we build. But if you have other areas that you think are important, let us know. Give us your feedback.
So we have another question from a student. What brand do you want to develop for NCCU School of Business?
Absolute excellence. We need to be excellent in our performance. We need to be excellent in how we deliver our services to you in terms of teaching, in terms of support, and we need your high level of excellence as you come to school. We need you to take this message out to those that you associate with, to younger brothers and sisters, to the community and whatnot. That's what we want. Now, excellence is the kind of high bar. And some people have varied ideas of when they meet it. I'm talking about being the best, being recognized for being the best. So I'm sure Mrs. Williams will help me come up with a good tagline for that, but I don't want to settle for anything less.
So another question we have is, what are steps in the School of Business being taken now will make sure that it is competitive with other institutions?
Well, a number of them. As you know, the School of Business System is accredited by AACSB. AACSB is the leading accreditation organization for business programs. Students may not think about that in particular all the time, but what that means is our faculty have to have a certain level of performance in what they do. We have to have highly qualified faculty. And sometimes you go to some of the large institutions and the folks standing in front of you are graduate assistants or what have you, teacher assistants. we're going to put a strong faculty in front of our students. So that's one step that we're doing, and it's an ongoing activity that we kind of have to keep up with all the time. Again, how we do our spaces, how do we make things available for you so that you can be successful? What's the interaction that we have with corporations, not only in Durham, not only in North Carolina, but around the country? With regard to the entrepreneurship program, I've said to our strategic planning committee that I would like for that program to be nationally recognized in journals such as U.S. News and World Report, and Forbes, and Business Week. I'd like for it to be nationally recognized in those periodicals by 2018. What that means is we're going to have to hire the right people. So we've got to have the right people to teach entrepreneurship. You're going to have the right experiences. Entrepreneurship is an experiential kind of program. We're going to have to engage you in the right conferences. I want our students going out to conferences. Last year we were able to send 3 students to the National Black MBA Association meeting. Several of our students went to NABA. We have a team this semester going out to Anaheim, California to compete in a strategic management competition. We have some students who are going to be competing in the social entrepreneurship program, the statewide social entrepreneurship program, first part of February over at A&T. But it's only through those kinds of experiences that you really get to see how competitive you are. You know, you may not realize that you're already at your top of your game. Okay? So we're going to do those kinds of things to make sure we reach that mark.
We have another question. Do you have any tips for those trying to develop their own businesses as far as funding?
Save your money. I don't personally have any tips. You know that we have the facility down at the American Underground, which is more or less like an incubator program that you can go and learn some things about entrepreneurship. But I think this is just me personally, so I'll that caveat out there. But I particularly feel that if I'm talking to undergraduate students, one of the important things is for you to learn on what I call somebody else's dime. That is, get a good job. Many of these employers will pay for you to go back to graduate school, they'll pay for opportunities, but as you're working, if entrepreneurship truly is your goal, put some money aside for that. When you walk into a banker and you say, I have X amount of dollars that I have set aside for my business, and this is what I need, this is what I expect it to generate, these are the customers that I know are there, this is what I know the demand for this product is, you can start to be more successful. While you're working inside that job, find those entrepreneurial areas where you can actually do some things internally to make that business better. As you practice those kinds of things, you're already learning how to build your own business. So I've been an entrepreneur, I've had my own business, I know what it's like. And I also know what it's like to meet that payday. When it's time to pay workers and your contract payment has not come in. You know, people like to get paid on Friday. They don't care when your client pays. So you've got to be ready for that. You don't look at it.
Yes, you do. Do we have any more questions from any students, undergrad or MBA?
All right. Since we don't have any more questions, we would like to thank you, Dr. Weston, for taking the time out to answer these questions from our undergrad and MBA students. And we are looking forward to our distinguished speaker series at 11:30 a.m. in the BBR building.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.